What is that smell? Applesauce oatmeal muffins. Have I got a great breakfast show planned for you today? We're not only going to have muffins, but I'm going to have poached eggs and show you also how to make oven roasted home fries. First, I'd like to talk about the nutritional benefits of making your own muffins. All right, this is a typical store-bought muffin, 510 calories versus 190 calories. Fat, 16 grams of fat, 6 grams of fat. In this huge muffin, 2 grams of fiber, 2 in one of these. So you could actually have 2 of these muffins for still a significantly less amount of fat and calories and more fiber than you can in one of these. So let's get started. Mise en place, everything in its place. A system of cooking so that you know you have all your ingredients ready, they're all measured out, and it will make cooking enjoyable. So let's begin there, shall we? Let's start with our muffins. And what I'm going to do here, I've got 1 1/4 cups of flour already measured in the bowl. I'm going to add cinnamon. I'm going to add baking powder, my baking soda. And before I mix that together, I'm going to add our main ingredient here is going to be oatmeal. And I just want to talk a little bit about the differences in oatmeal. I love the old-fashioned oatmeal. It takes about 5 minutes to make in the morning. And then you've got your quick cooking, which is 1 minute. And I just want to show the differences because depending on what you use in this recipe, it's a great recipe because you can use either the old-fashioned or the quick cooking. And here, I'll show you what the difference is. It's really in the way they're milled. Now here is the old-fashioned oatmeal, and you see how you've got the full flakes. Okay, it's the way it's milled, and that will make things a little bit chewier, a little bit different texture. And then here is the quick cooking, and all they do is just chop up the whole grains or the whole flakes a little bit more so it cooks that much quicker. Same nutritional value in each one of these, just each is going to create a little bit different texture. And I'm going to use today the topping. I already put together the topping for these oatmeal applesauce muffins. And what I did earlier was I took the whole old-fashioned oats, put them in a bowl with brown sugar, cinnamon, and you can use either melted butter or margarine. Just mix that together and that's going to make your nice topping for these muffins. So let me put this aside while I measure out the quick cooking oatmeal, which we'll use in this recipe today. And that way we'll have a little bit of a variation. We have the larger oats, which will make a nice topping for these muffins. And you know, another thing I want to say, please don't be intimidated by all the ingredients in these muffins. It's going to make 12 beautiful muffins, and most of the ingredients I'm using here are stuff that you keep in your house all the time. So nothing exotic here. Don't be intimidated. And as you know, I love baking, so I'm having fun here today. All right, so I've put my first few dry ingredients in the bowl, and let me put this aside. And let me measure out 1 1/2 cups of the quick cooking oats. Okay, so whatever you have in the house you can use. That's 1. There we go, 1 1/2. Put that over to the side. And now I'm going to just mix this together with my wire whip here. And I love these. Oh, I love using this and incorporating anything dry, wet ingredients. These come in so handy. You're going to love this recipe too because guess what? You don't need any special equipment. Yeah, there won't be any mixers used today. You incorporate those dry ingredients really well. I think that's good, and I'm going to leave a little well in the center where we're going to dump our wet ingredients. So let me put this aside for right now. Yeah. Okay, our wet ingredients. All right, I've got brown sugar, which is, well, I'd say it's moist, correct? That's why we're going to put this in here, because we're going to want to dissolve that a little bit. I've got a cup of applesauce. You can use unsweetened or sweetened. Use my little spatula here. Okay. I've got 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You don't have to remember all these ingredients either, or the measurements, because they're all going to be on my website, www.lindas-kitchen.com. Okay, so sit back and relax and let me show you how to put together these muffins. All right, milk, and you can use again either whole or skim milk, because no matter what you use, these muffins overall are going to be healthy and low fat. Now I've got 1 egg. And you know what? The nice versatile thing about this recipe is also that if you don't want to use the egg yolk, if you're trying to cut back on your cholesterol, even though there's only 1 egg in this whole recipe, you can just use the egg white if you want. Okay? That's it. There are my wet ingredients. So now let me mix these together. Dissolve the sugar. I love this new container I just got. Great for stuff like this. All right, that's all we do. Yeah, can you believe it? Huh? I told you it was going to be simple. All right, now the important thing is when you're mixing muffins so that you give them enough volume, you never want to over mix. Okay, you just put it in and we're just going to moisten this enough, and then we're going to scoop them right into the already prepared muffin tins, which I sprayed earlier with oil, and pop them right in the oven, 400-degree oven. So again, the reason you don't want to over mix is because there's gluten in the wheat products, and that's a protein, and that will become tougher the more you mix these. So again, just there. Wooden spoon or any kind of spoon, and we're just going to mix just gently, just to moisten the dry ingredients so we don't make these tough. See how gentle I'm doing that? Okay, that's it. All right. I've made these over the years. I love these. This is going to make 12. I use 1/4 cup. You're going to fill up these muffin cups most of the way. You like this little spatula? This is another thing that works really nicely. Okay. At least if my estimation is right, the last time I did these, this 1/4 cup worked out well. Okay. Okay. All right, that looks good. Let's just use the rest of this batter. So again, the cup should be, it should be almost full. So where else can we add a little? Let's just add a little more there. This one needs a little bit more. Right here, I don't like to waste anything, so. How's that? Here's the topping we did earlier. Just right over the top, pat it down a little. And see how when I use the old-fashioned, gives it a little bit more texture, and I like to see that on top of the muffin. that's going to look nice. Yeah, you don't have to get fancy with these. Just kind of evenly divide it as much as you can. It's going to be good. Rinse my hands. Okay, I'm going to put these in a 400-degree oven, and while these are baking, I'm going to show you how to make some nice, healthy oven home fries. All right, so let me put these in and I'll be right back. Home fries. If you love home fries as much as I do, you're going to love this variation on home fries where you can do them right in the oven. Nice, quick, easy, healthy way to do home fries. So let's get started. I'll show you how I like to cube up the potatoes, and yes, I'm going to put together white and sweet potatoes. I love doing this, and I get a lot of compliments on this when I do it. So just kind of square off the potato, and I probably do it in half-inch slices, so just like this. Be very careful. Okay, turn it like that. Now you got your like 4 slices with the side, and again, about every half-inch. Don't have to be perfect with this. Then what I do, I just turn them this way. Now let's do just a few at a time. Okay, and again, half-inch slices. Half-inch cross cut. And what did I do the night before? If you're going to be doing this for brunch or breakfast on a Sunday, of course you just put them in cold water. You can do this the night before in the refrigerator, and then you just drain them and pat them dry with a towel, and you're all set to go with your whites. Your sweets you can actually cut up the night before, and you don't have to put any water in these. Just cover them, put them in the refrigerator, ready to go. Be careful when you're doing sweet potatoes, because you know how large these are to cube. What I would do, they're a lot harder than the white, so I would cut it in half like this first, okay? And then, again, be careful, hold it firmly. See that? So get a nice grip on it and be very careful. In the same way as we did the white. Turn it this way. And again, not perfect, but you don't have to be. All right, and then I'm just going to mix these together in the bowl. It's like this, about half and half. That's good. Now, let me pour on some good, healthy olive oil. There. Again, no measurements needed with this. I've got my oven temp set at 400 degrees. Okay, I've lined a cookie sheet, and this is what you want for these oven fried potatoes. You want something with a very shallow side like this, because you want to roast them, so you need a lot of air circulation. And as you can see, I've lined it with parchment, so it's easy cleanup. And this parchment, they're all rated, so check the side of the box. This one is good up until 450 degrees, and we're going to do these at 400 today. Okay, so that's all I do, just toss them with some olive oil. Then you know you've also got the nutritional benefits of the sweet potatoes, which have more nutrients than the white. You know what? Let's do this while I still have my glove on. Oh, you know what that is. There's my timer for the muffins. You want to take a look? And then I'll finish these and I can pop these in the oven. Okay, I want to show you, just separate them out like that so they got a lot of air circulation between them. Let me take this off. Let me check my muffins. Okay, you want to help me check them? Let's shut off the timer. Now that was 20 minutes. Oh, let's see how they look. Let me test them over here. Perfect. Just a minute, I'll bring you over a tray to look at, and they smell wonderful. Cinnamon, applesauce. We've got fresh baked muffin, guys, and it didn't take that long. So let me put these aside. I'm going to finish my home fries here, and we'll be back to sample some of these after. All right, we're going to finish our home fries. I just take some freshly ground black pepper over the top. And I love garlic salt, or you can use just regular salt, but I love the garlic salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle some liberally over the top of these. And that's it. Done. I'm going to put these in the oven for 20 minutes. Take them out, mix them around a little, maybe another 15, 20 minutes. Just take a fork and pierce them to tell if they're done. Okay? So let me pop these in the oven, and then I'm going to mise en place for our last breakfast brunch item, which some of you would probably want to know how to make, poached eggs. Okay? So let me put these in the oven and I'll be right back. Poached eggs. A nice healthy way to prepare eggs, and I know a lot of people are intimidated by doing them, as I was at one time. But once I learned how to do them and I practiced, because like anything else in cooking, it's going to be practice to make perfect, correct? So once you learn this method, I think you're going to enjoy making poached eggs, and it's very easy to do. So first thing I want to talk about is what type of pan you use. Well, you can use this, which I think is like a 3-quart pan. You need just 2 or 3 inches of water. That's all you need at a nice simmer. And you can also use, if you have a deep skillet like this, this is fine to use also. Again, as long as you have 2 or 3 inches of water, you're good to go. Let me put this aside. And as you can see here, what I've done is brought it up to a nice simmer. And what I want to point out is you're not boiling these. You have to keep this at a nice simmer for these eggs to come out nice. And the other thing I want to point out is use nice fresh eggs. These are 4 weeks out from the expiration date or the best sell-by date. If you're using eggs 3 to 4 weeks out, you really don't need to add any acid to the water. If you're using older eggs, like let's say you're only a week to 2 out from the expiration date, then you can still do poached eggs, but put a little bit of acid in the water, either white vinegar, 1 or 2 teaspoons per 1 quart of water, or squeeze in a little lemon juice. And what that will do is it will help coagulate the proteins in the egg whites so they're not separating a lot, because as eggs age, they start breaking down. They're still perfectly good to eat, but the protein and the yolk will start to break down. So that's a pointer I just want to make you aware of. So again, these are, I've told you before, these are 4 weeks out. So let's start the process here. Crack the egg, put it in a little dish, nice and gentle. And because these are so fresh, you really don't have to worry about breaking the yolk. I'll put that here. Oh, I love poached eggs. I was so happy when I learned how to make these. Now our water is at a nice simmer, and now I'm going to gently drop the eggs in. So you want to take the dish and put the edge of the dish as close to the water as you can, and drop them into the simmering water. All right, there's one. Here's the second one. As you can see, the lip is close to the water. Drop it right in. And you are going to get some separation. Don't worry about that. Some of the white will come up to the top of the water, and it will take a little while for it to reach the nice simmer again, but don't rush these. I time these now for 3 minutes, and that should be perfect. But again, with anything else, just if you like them a little bit more done or less done, then just adjust your timing after this. But let's time these 3 minutes and see what they look like. 3 minutes has gone by. Now let me lift these out. These will start coming to the top. And oh, look at that. Yep, drain it a little bit. Going to pop these right on top of some nice whole grain English muffins. Oh, look at this one. This is a beauty. Oh, how does that look? Perfect? Now you've made poached eggs. All right, let me put this aside. You know, I want to also point out that if you're doing these for a group of people, do you know you can remove them at this point and put them right into a bowl of cold water, and that will hold them. And then to reheat them, all you need to do is heat up some hot water or keep this water hot, plunge them in for maybe 10-20 seconds till they're warmed up again, and put them right on the English muffins. So there you go. You've got nice poached eggs, and let me cut one of these open, show you what it should look like. Oh yeah, should be a nice warm yolk center. And we have it here. And again, if you like it a little bit runnier, then just simmer them for less time. But I think that looks good. All right, well, our home fries are just about done in the oven. Our muffins are out, and our poached eggs are done. So why don't we put all these beautiful breakfast items together? Thank you for joining me for breakfast this morning. And as you can see, I've got my plate here with my beautiful oven roasted home fries, and those came out perfect. As you can see, the nice brownness on these. And that took about 35-40 minutes. And I've got my applesauce oatmeal muffin here, my poached egg on a whole grain English. And the next time you're planning breakfast for your family or a special friend, I hope you'll keep these healthy options in mind. Thank you for joining me, and until the next time, good healthy eating. I'm Linda Carabaris, www.lindas-kitchen.com. I'll see you the next time.